Hello, my beautiful babies. It is your fave tarot Muva, and back with another episode of Astro Tea and what's happening celestially. So let's go ahead and get into it. We ain't got shit going on this week. So I'm gonna be dropping these episodes every Thursday, and you can find them via YouTube or podcast, and I'll have the link in the description box so you can find all of that information. If you're looking for the podcast, you can find it on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcast. And yeah, just search Tarot Muva Podcast and you'll find me. So but what I kind of wanted to talk about today is two transits that have already kind of been happening and revving up. One is Venus retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. That started in December 19th. Yes, and it's ending January 29th. And then we have Jupiter that entered the sign of Pisces December 28th, and it's ending in May 10th. So we got some time with that one. So the beautiful thing about both of these transits is that they're really having us to switch our perspective about a lot of different things that matter to us and collectively as well. So with Jupiter and Pisces, Jupiter is about expansion, higher learning, law, it's the guru, and it's also abundance as well. And then you have Pisces, which represents the ocean, the subconscious mind, and compassion. So we're in this place where we're recognizing that what we do over here, so if you're watching this in America, what we do over here in America affects others in other countries, and then vice versa. Like, we're all connected. And then also right now, we are all experiencing a lot of the same emotions because of the Ponderosa. So that's something to keep in mind. And I really want people to be compassionate towards themselves and others, because I feel like a lot of us are at this place where we feel as though we need to be further than we actually are. And there is nothing wrong with being ambitious, but when you're kind of in this space where you're not being gentle with yourself and not loving towards yourself, speaking kind words to yourself, it's like, that's the thing that you need to readjust and rethink, which brings us to Venus retrograde in Capricorn. Venus is all about what you value, beauty, love, luxury, and just romance. And then you have Capricorn, which is stability, hardworking, grounded energy, and efficiency. So it's like with Venus going retrograde, it's just slowing down in the sign of Capricorn. So it's getting us to rethink a lot of things. So like, what do you value? Is your self-worth where it needs to be? And then Capricorn does represent like corporate America. And I know a lot of people are leaving corporate America, because leaving corporate America, but also rearranging how corporate America is set up, because a lot of people have been working for certain companies for years, and then all of a sudden they just let you go, and that's it. And it's like, it doesn't matter how much effort and what you put in, how much blood, sweat, and tears you put in, they will drop you if they deem it necessary. And again, it's like, what do you value? Do you value a company that's going to respect you? Are your employers respecting you? Do you value your own mental health, your emotional health? And also, I do feel like Venus and Capricorn a little bit can be a little superficial in some areas, because it is about like physical things. And I think a lot of us are rethinking like consumerism and how we consume, and are we consuming things that are beneficial to us? Is it a value? And something that I have been doing and practicing for years now is I haven't been shopping from places that endorse fast fashion, you know, like H&M and Forever 21, Zara, Shein, any of those places, because I know what it takes to make those products, and not only what it takes to make them, but they also end up in landfills, which is not okay. And so again, it's something that I value. It's like I'm willing to do whatever is necessary to find eco-friendly and sustainable companies that are beneficial, you know, to myself and others. And then also you have to think about energy is a very powerful, it's a very powerful frequency, and I think people don't really consider this. But anything you have can like hold energy. So it's like if you have, this may seem very far-fetched, but really just hang in there. If you're getting clothes from a sweatshop and say a woman is making these shirts for Forever 21, she hasn't seen her family in I don't know how long, she probably hasn't had a good meal in I don't know how long, they're giving her pennies for all the shit that she's making. Like one of those t-shirts is gonna be like $25, but she's getting like pennies. So and it's just like, that's a lot of stress and anxiety, and that's being infused in the clothing that these companies are shipping over here to be sold in America. So I will never tell you that you don't deserve luxury or you don't deserve nice things, but again, you have to kind of consider where these things are coming from, how they're being brought about. And you know, it's one of those things where I'm really like, sometimes it's a little frustrating that a lot of people are so upset about climate change and everything, but no one's really putting in the work to change things. You know, like, are you using single-use plastics, you know, and plastic bags and stuff like that? You know, it's like, how are you, like, what are you doing exactly to help the situation? So that's another thing. It's like with Jupiter and Pisces represents the ocean. So it's like a lot of the plastics that we use end up in the ocean, and then we need that water for survival, and we drink it, so we're drinking the plastic. Or say, for instance, if you like seafood, the plastic is in the fish because it's like it's so bad, you know. And nowadays and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but there's no excuse anymore. We have so many different alternatives, and you know, and not saying, I'm saying like, no, there's no excuse, because I've lived in some pretty tough situations and everything, and I've been able to find a way. But again, I get it, you know, I won't, let me not be too harsh, because I understand that, you know, everyone's living conditions is not the same, but there are certain things that like I'm very aware of, and I do my best. And so it's like, if you are using single-use plastics, make sure that you're recycling properly. That's what I'm kind of saying. It's just like, if you're not doing your part in helping the situation, then it's like, you know, if you're just sitting there continuing to use these materials and not recycling them properly or disposing of them properly, then I don't know what to tell you. But okay, so I did want to pull some cards because I do feel as though our guides have some messages for us. And just to see like where we're at collectively, and whatever messages want to come out, they're just going to do exactly what's happening. Come out. Okay, so we got quite a bit here. Is that everything? Oh, yes, okay. So we have the Knight of Emotions and the Four of Voices. And then we have Knight of Emotions, I'm sorry. And then we have the Knight of Voices and the Five of Voices. Or the Five of Swords and the Knight of Swords. And then we have the Eight of Inspiration and the Nine of Materials. Okay, so with the Knight of Emotions, I'm feeling as though, you know, this is very Pisces energy. Actually, both of these, because Pisces love to take baths. Really water signs in general, just like being near water, in water, whatever, is very powerful. So that could, I'm feeling like, make sure that you are drinking enough water, because that's very important. It's also a very like spiritual act as well. And whenever you're drinking, say prayers over your water as well, because excuse me, water holds a lot of energy. It's also a conduit for energy as well. Is that the right word? Yeah. So when you are speaking things into existence, just like, you know, we have God within us. So when you speak things into existence just like God did, you put that power into that object, into that thing. So speak over your water, you know, speak over really everything. You know, if you need to say a quick prayer, it doesn't really matter who you believe in, to be real. It's just like, it's all about setting intentions, you know? So it's like when you get up in the morning and it's like, I set the intention that today is going to flow with ease. You know, I say that on the regular because, you know, some things, shit happens, you know, and we kind of just have to flow with it. And that's all, you know, like we really can't control much of anything. So, and then we have the Four of Voices or the Four of Swords. So this is really asking us to simply take a break. So I know that New Year's just happened and a lot of people put a lot of stress and anxiety on themselves to do their New Year's resolution, do this, do that, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and and there's nothing wrong, again, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but again, first of all, New Year's doesn't technically start until March, because I go based off of the zodiac signs, you know, so technically New Year starts in Aries season, which makes complete sense because Aries is the initiator, it's the first sign of the zodiac, and it's a fire sign as well, so we're gonna have a lot more passion and drive come March, but we're still in winter, you know, we're in Capricorn season at this time, so it's like Capricorn again is very methodical, so it's like how can you use this time where we're just kind of really slowing down to the best of your ability, you know, even with the Knight of Emotions in the traditional illustrations, the knight is normally kind of just, you know, doing its thing, walking slowly. I guess you can kind of walk really slowly underwater, but whatever. I just feel like our guides are really telling us to just slow down. Just to really slow down. And also do not sign any contracts during Venus retrograde and any retrogrades, to be real. And then we do have Mercury going into retrograde on the 14th. So yeah, just try not to sign any contracts. You know, if you're looking for a car, you want to get a used one. You want to because again, Capricorn it's like Venus retrograde Capricorn. It's like Venus is like luxury, the shiny things, but you having the newest BMW is not as important as having something that's efficient. You know, you just need something that's gonna have AC, good tires, a radio, a good engine, and it just drives smooth. You know, that's really, it's like we kind of have to think in that way. It's like, what is a value right now? You know, it's like, can I, you know, down the line, is this something, the payments, can I even make this on this fucking BMW? You know, it's just like, think some things through. You know, it's not the time to go all out and do it. It's just not the time. But yeah, it's like our guides are really getting us to be in a place of solitude. And not that you haven't already been doing that, but solitude as in taking a break from social media and really trying to analyze how to become your best self is what our guides really want us to do. And also we're at this place where we're trying to organize our emotions in a way that makes sense to us, because there has been a lot that has been suppressed in our subconscious mind, and it wants to emerge. Our higher selves want to emerge and be free, you know, like this Knight of Voices. This is like air sign energy. Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. And this does indicate travel as well. So it is possible that we may be, the restrictions for travel may be lifted. And then voices, there could be some information coming out about two things. One, Pisces does represent emotional manipulation, so be mindful of that. So definitely, yeah, please don't pay attention to the media. I understand that a lot of people want to be hyper aware and want to know what's going on, but the media is specifically designed to keep you in a state of confusion, depression, anxiety, because the media makes you feel as though it makes you feel helpless, and that's the intent. It's not supposed to be, it's not supposed to ever be uplifting. You know, it's like they give you like a little dose of something happy, like a puppy saving a man from a well, and then, you know, Miss Rona comes in with the statistics or some shit like that. Like that's how they get you high, knock you at the fucking knees. So then we have the Five of Voices, or the Five of Swords. So it's like I feel like we're at this place where, it's even someone is like dangling something in front of the person, but you have these people down here who are meditating. So it's like we have to go within and kind of figure out, what exactly do we need to be happy? Not superficial things, not what people tell you that's going to make you happy, but what do you truly need to be happy? And I do think that you should take some time to meditate. I meditate every morning for like 15 to 20 minutes. And, you know, I've been doing yoga every day as well. If you're interested in doing yoga, I strongly suggest Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. She is absolutely amazing. And because at first I felt very intimidated by yoga, because you always see people like hot yoga doing it in 90 degrees, and I'm like but the thing with Adrienne is she's so gentle. Like, it's not, because she makes you feel like you don't have to slam your body into different positions. She also explains things very well. And another thing that she does is really like, she shows you different ways of doing certain positions, so you don't feel so limited. You know, you have a lot of options and you can be a little bit more fluid with the way that she teaches. So I strongly recommend her. And also there's a lot of times where because of traumatic experiences, either some that happened a few years ago, it could even link back to childhood. Again, Pisces is a subconscious, so it could be real deep down in there. So it's there's some things that happen and we get triggered, and then all of a sudden we stop breathing, you know, and the breath is so important. It's just as important as like your blood flowing through your veins. It's so necessary to pay attention to and to be aware of, and doing that alone will like raise your vibration, and it will also give you a little bit more awareness of your body, what's happening in that moment, and how to handle situations in healthier and easier ways as well. And so I feel like with the Five of Voices, you know, there's like things that there's information and there's certain situations and objects that can be dangled in your face to get you distracted from what you truly need to be focusing on, which is you. And at this time with Jupiter and Pisces, both of these energies are all about spirituality and going within, higher learning, connecting with your guides in your spiritual team in order to grow and evolve. And that's on a collective level. And we're all going to be put in this position where we have to pick one. Do we want to still be in these lack mindsets and stagnant, or do we want to evolve and actually become the person that we imagine, you know, in our minds? That's where we're at right now, because there's like two different individuals. It's like, yes, they're similar, but one is slightly different from the other. So it's like, what do you have to, this is up to you to figure out, you know. And I strongly recommend journaling, or you know, seeking out a licensed professional, whether that be a therapist or like a life coach. You could even find certain groups that really, you know, of like-minded individuals that could really benefit you as well. And I also do feel like with this card and the Knight of Emotions, there could be a lot of new opportunities that help you to expand emotionally or travel. And so I feel like there could be certain things that, again, what do you value? Like, say for instance, if I was asked to partner with, say, Shein, I wouldn't do it, because I know how these companies operate, especially if they endorse fast fashion. And this is just an example, but there could be opportunities that present themselves like that. And it's like, yes, it's a check, but is it worth it? You know, is it something, if you really think about it, are you going to be able to sleep very well at night? You know, ask your politicians. I swear, it's like every single time. And it's not because like they're tired and they have so much to do. It's like they be pulling some shady shit behind the scenes. And these bitches are exhausted. I guarantee you they have not had a good night's sleep since they stepped into these positions. I ain't gonna go too in depth. But then we have the Eight of Inspirations. Yeah, it's just, I say this all the time because I really want people to hear me. These politicians don't care. They're actors. And we have to get out of the notion that they are going to save us. Just because you voted for this person does not, it really, like, it seems like it would make sense, but it doesn't make them obligated to help us in the way that we need. Like, say for instance, Joe Biden, I think a lot of people expected him to eliminate student loans, which I really don't think he ever will. Like, he just pushed back the date for us to start paying again. And I can't remember, but apparently he's voted against student loan forgiveness multiple times. I wish I had more information on that, but I don't at the moment. But they don't care, you know. And even Sally Mae, like, she took her employees on a expensive vacation, but there's people who have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. Like, they don't care. Like, they will literally go on vacation with your fucking money. And we've seen it. So it's just like, again, I'm not trying to build a foundation like that. And that's very much Venus and Capricorn energy. You know, I'm trying to build a foundation off of love. And Capricorn, you know, Capricorn energy can step all over people just to get to where... Hi, baby. Hey, don't. Hey, don't. Hey, don't, baby. Hey, don't. Hey, don't. Hi. Hi, handsome. Hey, don't, baby. And he's gone. The Capricorn energy can step all over people to get to where they want. But a lot of those companies don't last, you know. And that's the thing you have to really consider. You know, there's a lot of, like I mentioned, Capricorn does represent like corporate America. A lot of corporate places are not lasting, and they've been really falling by the wayside, and people have been utilizing others and, you know, just different means of making money and surviving. And they've been thriving. Like it's like, you know, especially when you consider, we bring up the conversation of cryptocurrency and the like the information concerning the stock market and things like that has been suppressed for a very long time, and now more people have the information and access to the information, and people are making their own fucking money, and a lot of it too. It's like, if you know how to work it, you know, I've dipped in too. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing half the time, but you know, we're making moves. But yeah, it's just like, and that's another thing. Capricorn is very much longevity. So say, for instance, if you put money down for Bitcoin, Bitcoin is down right now. But Bitcoin is one of those things where it's a long game. Like you invest, and you just have to be patient and wait for the right moment to do what's necessary. Because that's, again, a system that's very volatile. Anything with crypto is very volatile, and you just have to keep that in mind, you know. But it's a long game. There are short games you can play, especially within crypto and the stock market as well. But if you want a little money towards your, you know, learning about crypto and things of that nature, I have a link down below with Coinbase. I've been using them for quite some time, and I really like their platform. So, Eight of Inspiration. I just feel like there's a lot of information that's going to be coming through, and it's going to give people that push to really move forward. And we do have like the sun right here as well, and the sun is very vital to our energy. Speaking of, make sure that you are taking your vitamin D. Seasonal depression is real, and vitamin D is very, very helpful to kind of give you a little bit of boost, you know, because if you're somewhere where you can't get a lot of sunlight, vitamin D is a lifesaver. Oh my god. But anyway, okay. So with the Eight of Inspiration, that's something to, there's a lot of things. So first off, I want to say this. A lot of people believe that 2020 and, you know, the last few years have been because of us. Yes, there are certain things that we should have handled differently. And before these few years that came about. Like, again, consumerism is a big fucking deal. Like, we have to find different ways to have our needs met, and have our needs met that don't, because it's like because if the world were to shut down again, what do you need? What do you really need? Yeah, it's just, what do you really need? That's the thing. It's like, what do you really value in this moment? And with the last few years with the Ponderosa, it wasn't necessarily us. It was divine intervention, really, because God was essentially going through everything with sledgehammers, just breaking shit down, because a lot of the foundations that have built this country have been false. They have been on the backs of individuals that deserved much better, far better. And we're at this place now where we have the perfect opportunity to rebuild. And despite what people think, I know that people believe that the Miss Maxine was supposed to help, but it was never intended to help, despite what you may think. Because if you pay attention, the people who have been getting sick already had the Maxine. And the whole Miss Rona was dispersed purposely. It was never an accident. It was never an accident. And that's what I need people to realize, that shit. It was never an accident. It was never an accident. None of the pandemics that we've had have been accidents. They have all been some bullshit. They have all been, it was one of those things where someone put it in their Google Calendar and it's like, oh, we're going to release Zika on this day. Everyone agree with that? Okay. That's exactly what it is. And I did a whole video on some things that the military and like the CIA has done, and the whole Zika, I forgot what it was called beforehand, but they did the same method of using mosquitoes to release a virus years ago. It was around like the 1950s. I'm blanking on it, but they've done it before. And then they just give it a new name, and it's Zika. You know, it's the same shit every single fucking time. And it's just like, this is important. Pay attention to history as well. History repeats. They're at they're trying to keep us in a state where we don't want to evolve. We don't want to move forward. They want to keep dangling insignificant things in our faces so that we don't try to go within and figure out what we really need. Hi. And it's like, say for instance, they're just trying to keep us in the same mindset, in the same place energetically, mentally, physically, financially. And like, there's been so many reboots, like there's nothing original anymore. Like, it's so annoying. And also, Jupiter and Pisces, we are going to have some of the best music. Pisces is Prince was a Pisces, and you know how groundbreaking fucking Prince was. And if you don't know, you better fucking figure it out. So Prince was a Pisces, and so Jupiter it's in its home sign, it's in its home energy. And Prince and I can't think of any other Prince, like, I mean, not Prince, but Pisces people that I like, musicians at this time, but Prince is the most significant one that I can think of at the moment. And so this is your time. So take some time to rest, to relax, do some self-care, regain your energy, do what you need to do to get your strength back up. And then when March comes, be ready to put all that shit in action, you know, because Capricorn energy is all about efficiency and organization. So make sure that you organize your plan enough to where you can be flexible but get some shit done. And you will be surprised what's going to happen. Like, I'm so excited. This is a very beautiful transit. And and so I feel like there's a lot of things that people are going to be making money. Look, people are going to be able to make money off of so many different things. This is the Nine of Pentacles. This is the energy of, look, blessings. This hand from above, just gifting just beauty, luxury, growth, abundance onto this individual in this card. So it's like, God, your guides are willing to give you so much if you just take the time to go within, figure out what you need, listen to them, listen to the signs and synchronicities. Signs. And, you know, figure again, this is where we're at right now. And your guides are like, either you take the risk, and you see like this little person, it's like this person is looking at themselves in this card. Can you see that clearly? There we go. Looking at themselves. This is you looking at your higher self, looking at the person that you've imagined in your mind. This person that is experiencing luxury. That could be you. And right now, you can also still experience luxury. You know, I used to think that I had to say, I really enjoy using like sheet mask. And I used to think that I could only get them at like Sephora, which Sephora is you can't go in there with a tight budget. We just gonna say that. But and also redecorating my home as well. That's very Venus energy too, decorating the home. And so I found different ways, whether that be consignment shops. I've gone to TJ Maxx, and they have so much skincare that's like on discount, and sometimes like good ass brands too, like spirit, no. The spirit said all the messages, tell them everything. We ain't doing all that. My bad, I just dropped the deck. But that's just an example. It's like you don't have to find the most expensive thing to have luxury. Luxury literally means, like, I found these sheet masks from TJ Maxx, and it was like 10 in a pack, and it's a Korean brand. And I looked online real quick to see, what was up. They had damn near 5.9 star reviews. So I was like, hey, and they're really good too. And it's like, it's a brand that's not very familiar, at least to America. I ain't gonna say that because I'm not Korean. So, but again, it's like you can find luxury in so many different things, buying yourself some rose petals, making your own damn bath, your bubble bath, if you can take a bubble bath, doing your nails, doing your hair, getting your hair cut, going thrifting. There's so many different ways that you could experience luxury without breaking the bank. And that's essentially, it's just like these energies want us to be efficient, enjoy life, but also realize that that does not define who we truly are. All right, let's get some more messages. But yeah, it's like our guides want us to truly be independent in the sense that if the world were to shut down again, we don't need the government and these elected actors to do much of anything, because they're not. They've shown us time and time again that they will not help us. And also, leaning on others, like I don't necessarily, I'm good with plants, but I don't have a green thumb to the extent of taking care of a garden. I'm not there yet. But when the time comes, I'm going to ask others to help me out. I've asked people to help me with certain projects that I've been working on as well. And, because I'm not as proficient in certain things, and that's okay. So it's like, if I need to, I'm going to ask questions, and that's okay. Or I'm going to scour YouTube to figure out what the fuck I need, because YouTube has a lot of fucking answers to my questions. Is that it, guides, from this deck? That's it. Nope. I was waiting on that one. Okay, then let me shuffle this one too. But yeah, I just feel like the next few months is going to be extremely transformational. And again, remember that we don't have a lot of control in things that happen. And if the last couple years didn't teach you that, then I don't know where you've been. Because we think that we have had control over, again, we only have control over what we do, how we react, how we respond and move. Everything else is fair game. And it is what it is. So we have, I said this too, flow. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. I just said that. We can't control everything. Faith. Miraculously, amazingly, and everything I need always comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. This is very much the Four of Voices as well. Awakening. Very Jupiter and Pisces. Oh my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. Ooh. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. Yes. Don't be afraid to go against the grain. I've been doing that since birth. And I will say sometimes it's easier said than done. But I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I don't fit in a lot of spaces, and that's okay. You know, I've always been me, and it's worked out, to be real. And I mean, there have been times where I've had to separate myself from certain individuals for whatever reason. But it was necessary, and I had to do it. And it just showed me that, like, I'm much stronger than I think, you know, and I think a lot of just really take that into consideration. And that's what I mean by be compassionate with yourself. If you survived the last few years, you were strong as fuck. Like, and that's enough in itself. That's you get a Girl Scout badge. That's it. That's the, you know, it's so like that's phenomenal. But that, like, a lot of us were able to survive 2019, 2020, and 2021. Like, ooh. Geranium, nurturing. Trigger statement, I am all in my head. True statement, I create with pleasure. Take time to rest, and in that time, be open to creative pursuits. Surround yourself with things that please your senses, and be gentle with yourself. Right here. Green Mandarin, opportunity. Trigger statement, I doubt it. True statement, there is hope. With fresh eyes, see the potential within the situation. Yes, exactly. It's like when I mentioned that God in the last few years has taken a sledgehammer to everything that we thought was safe. It was to show us that, like, we can rebuild in a way that makes sense to everyone as a whole, you know, collectively, because these systems were not built for us to be individuals or autonomous or free, for that matter. And now it's like, again, stop paying attention to the media, because it's going to make you feel helpless, like always, but pay attention to what you have in this moment. That's what you need to focus on. Because they're going to keep dangling insignificant things in your face to get you distracted. You know, I said that earlier. So we have Cassia, confidence. Trigger statement, I can't do that. True statement, I am light. Step forward and be the bright light that you are. Serve your purpose to the world by sharing your amazing gifts. Yes. If you're a hairstylist, if you do nails, if you're a barber, if you're an actor, actress, a gardener, you're into 3D printing, I don't know, whatever your strengths are, utilize them or find ways to utilize them. They're so, and again, the energy is so, it's like building momentum. Look, building momentum. She's like revving up. It's just like the energy is, it's almost at its peak, and you want to be ready when that shit really pops off. Even if things change, guarantee it is divine timing, and just have faith and flow with it, because again, we can't change shit. we only have control of how we operate, how we respond, and that's it, you know. But do what's necessary in this time to just activate your 5 senses, take care of yourself, do some self-care, and figure out who you are. Figure out, and you know, despite what people have told you, figure out who you are, figure out what you like, figure out your talents and your weaknesses in order to strengthen them. But yeah, I think that's all that I have for today. I hope this message helps. Sending love and good health to everybody. Yeah, good luck, everybody.